I gotta get
Welcome to
the annoying noises out of the way.
No, this is the ASMR moment. It's like,
I don't believe in ASMR.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
I just don't get it.
I thought it was just a thing. I didn't think it was like, are you
I think it's a sex thing. I think it's a veiled sex thing.
a veiled sex thing?
I thought it was a relaxing thing.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. I think it's kind of veiled that it's like more of like a sexual sensation thing.
My kink is like, not mine, but like somebody's kink.
Not mine, to be clear, not mine.
Eat a biscuit right next to their
Oh my
head.
God. Great transition.
Bring us back on topic.
They're like crunch, crunch, crunch right in my ear. And you're like, was that a British biscuit or
Is that a
Southern
delicious biscuit?
Oh, we're
What?
going to find out. Or a dog biscuit.
This is Whyte Noise.
Whyte Noise.
Things like that.
Hey.
I'm Michael Judson Berry.
I'm Chelsea Jacobson.
And Ryan Wilder.
And we're gonna talk. Ryan and I are gonna talk for 10 minutes about biscuits this episode.
Yeah, each episode's a different topic.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. I'm
You're
like,
gonna
that's
choose
pretty
a
much
winner.
it.
Welcome.
They have 10 minutes.
You're caught up.
Last
Yeah.
time it was based on symmetry, the winner. The other
Yes.
times were based on what you learned.
Yeah. Very, no criteria in particular in
No
terms of
criteria.
picking a winner.
Yeah.
And it's white noise because we're three white people talking about nothing.
Random things.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to our minds.
Talking
Yeah,
without
it's
meaning is just noise.
That is true.
Yeah, although I will say, Ryan, you've done many meaningful ones.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've learned
You.
a lot from you.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, I'm learning.
I'm more just like, maybe we should hang babies outside of windows.
We're grown
Oh,
And
I'm
you're
all
like,
for-
let
I'm
me
all for
teach
it.
you about botany. Like,
Both are valid. Both valid.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So
Thank
who's
you.
going to start with Biscuit today?
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
So, I went first last time. You go first this time. I like this. I like
Okay.
this back and forth. It's a good like. yin and yang.
Okay. And
Is
to
that
be
okay?
fair, when I
Do you want to?
Sure, I will go
Okay.
first.
Great.
Oh, my time started?
No, it can.
Oh, sure. Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's just dive
Ready?
right in.
And 10 minutes starts now.
Okay, biscuits was tough for me because my
Oh.
first instinct was just like, I love biscuits.
Yeah.
And I almost just kind of stopped there. Like, I was like, I can talk at length about biscuits. And then I literally walked into the studio and went, I can't talk at length about biscuits. Because
You can.
I can, and I'm going to. Because that's my desert island thing when people are like, desert island food. What is it? Mine is biscuits and gravy. I could live on biscuits with like white sausage gravy. And honestly, one of the first things I think of now when I think of the best biscuits and gravy in the world, I think of you, Ryan.
Oh.
Because you make spectacular sausage gravy. Like,
Wow.
you make a lot of very good gravies. And I could eat gravy with a spoon, like really any gravy.
Yeah.
Really?
I could
same.
bathe in it. I would be happy. It could be in my pores. And I love gravy. I'm a weirdo like that. And yours is out of this world.
Thank you.
And there was one time when Ryan was out of town and I went to dog sit for him. And you were very lovely and left Pillsbury biscuits, which
Those are
I hadn't
delicious.
had one in forever.
Yeah.
And I forgot about the pure satisfaction when you pop that can.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
stir, whatever that is.
Yes.
When it unwinds.
Oh, yeah.
It gives me a little anxiety at first because I'm
Really?
like you start to pull it back and you're like, is it gonna pop?
Yeah.
Or am I gonna have to hit it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then if it pops on you when you don't expect it, I
Oh, it's so
Okay.
exciting though.
jump.
It's
Oh
so
my God, it's the same.
satisfying.
It's the same gratification I get from watching like Dr. Pimple Popper
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Instagram. It's
There's
that
something
same
about it.
like
Wait,
sensation.
Is it ASMR?
It's a oh
No,
my
I don't think so. I don't think
Um,
that's ASMR though. I think ASMR is kind of different.
Oh, that's true.
If we really get
It's-
into the
it's like
weeds.
it's like the it's the anticipation, and then the
Yeah.
like. I can't tell what's more satisfying, the pop or the build up.
Yeah.
It's like a great Hitchcock film with a biscuit afterward.
Oh.
And then
I want
watch.
to share something. Did you
Please.
know that they sell those Pillsbury? I found this out this week, by the way. That they sell these biscuits. They sell the biscuits in a bag. So
Why?
not in the preformed thing, but the thing is, they actually bake better from
Oh.
the bag. They look more like a biscuit when they finish
Right, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
because they haven't packed on each other.
But again,
Yeah.
you don't have the satisfaction of also like peeling the dough apart,
Oh,
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
also a really nice part of it when they're sort of like doughy selves, and then but they're smushed, so you have to sort of like very get them. They make that little sound when you peel them apart,
Yeah.
and then you watch them bake, and they're so golden and beautiful. And then after, so you left those. So I'm getting like verklempt over here. was a magical experience.
Like, Michael, do you need a minute? Do you need a
I
moment?
might need to go dab for a second. Like, I'm getting a little like, whew, oh my. It's getting warm in here. So you left me Pillsbury biscuits, and then this. I mean, this, when I tell you that the sausage gravy that you made and left for me, and it had sat for a second, so I heated up. It was a religious experience.
Yeah.
Like I ate that for 2 days, and I was thrilled. Parts of my body weren't, but my
Right.
soul was so fulfilled and warm and full. So I just.
I was gonna say
love
when
it.
I made it, I tasted a little bit before we went. I was like, "Oh, this is a good one."
Oh, listen, it was amazing. After that, I was like, I will dog sit for you anytime, any day.
It was actually made with wild boar sausage too.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
good stuff. So
I
I
was like, "Why was it so good?" I think that was part of it.
that was it.
Wild
Yeah.
boar.
Shout out to Wild Boar Sausage. Feel free to sponsor us. So that's what with biscuits, I think of you. And it brings me back to the first time I ever had proper Southern biscuits and gravy when I was a little kid. Because neither of my parents could cook. Famously, my parents can't cook. Actually, my mom can. She just didn't until after I
Right.
was in my 20s. And then all of a sudden she could. And she was like, yeah, I just never had time when you were young. And I was like,
I'm like, great, thanks.
what a reveal, Liz. All those microwavable chicken pot pies. So my
Mrs.
uncle,
Fields.
I mean, to be fair, they're amazing. I'm not complaining about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So when I first tasted, when my life changed, I will never forget. It's one of those meals, when you eat something and it just, like when I close my eyes, I am back there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was, my uncle was a fireman in New York, and he was dating this woman named Terry Sire. She's from Tennessee. She was a dancer from Tennessee. And she, beautiful blonde, adorable woman, was really thick Tennessee accent. And I came down to New York for my 10th birthday to see my first Broadway show ever, because I was a
Very
little kid
cute.
actor. And he was going to take me to any show I wanted. He took me to Victor Victoria. I got to pick it because Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews was starring in it.
Oh,
Oh
And
my
I was obsessed with
God.
Mary Poppins as a
That's
kid.
awesome.
I can still say Dosha Sally Expiastic Fragicali Rupus. And
Oh my God.
and Victor Victoria, he was like, I don't know, this is the best show for a 10-year-old because it's based on the 1980s movie. If you've never seen it, great movie.
Such a good movie.
Where she played a woman pretending to be men, pretending to be a woman. There's this whole
Very
drag us
smart.
back, but very funny, great movie. Victor Victoria, I highly recommend it. I watched it recently. It holds up.
For sure.
One of those comedies from the 80s that you're like, does it? And it does.
I've never seen it. Now I'm going to watch
So
it.
It's
smart.
Julie
No,
Andrews
I'm
was
gonna watch
nominated
it.
for an Oscar for it.
Oh, no kidding.
Blake Edwards, her husband, directed it, who did the Pink Panther movies.
Okay.
And it's a great sort of madcap comedy, but about drag queens in Paris in the 1920s.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's handled in a way such that it still holds
It
up.
kind of works. Even though it's a straight woman pretending to be a drag queen, it somehow still is PC, fine.
Yeah.
Thumbs
yeah.
up.
It's just
Well,
handled in a
it's Julie
sophisticated
Andrews,
way
so-
where it's it works still.
Yeah, and the comedy is spot on.
Yeah,
So
so
we went and saw that. It was amazing. And then, so Terry took us backstage. And then the next day, to cap off this spectacular weekend, she made me biscuits and gravy. We were in my uncle's apartment in Stuyvesant Town. And I was like, well, I love gravy. And she was like, well, have you ever had breakfast gravy? And I was like, gravy for breakfast? Unheard of. What is this? What is this madness? It should only be dark brown and go on turkey and potatoes. And, and she was like, no, you can have it for breakfast. And so she
Wow.
made it for me, and it was and she did it her way. And she would never eat it. She was a ballet dancer. So she took a tiny bite and she was like, that's all for me. But her mom was a big Tennessee, Southern woman. And so she made her mom's recipe, and I swear I took one bite and my life changed.
Yeah.
And it was just magical. So that's that biscuit story. So whenever I think of biscuits, it's you and it's Terry Sire. And she's a
very
Pilates instructor
flattering.
living in Florida now. And I go take her class if you're in Florida. But then also, so what again, though, confused me was as a kid also, I loved Eddie Izzard because I
Oh, yeah.
loved British humor. And he often would talk about biscuits or jammy dodgers. And I was like, what is this? And that was when I learned how biscuits originally are not our biscuits.
Right.
Nope.
Since the
Yep.
real biscuits are British biscuits.
Yep.
Well,
Right.
really, they date back to the Romans, who
Oh.
made them out of Roman husk. And technically, the first ever biscuit was a small crunchy snack, basically.
Mhm.
It
Roman
seemed like it was
husk?
the earliest foods. Yeah, early. They date back to the Neolithic era.
Wow.
They were little cakes or porridges that were flat and crisp. And the term biscuit is French biscuit, which just refers to bread that has been twice cooked.
Twice baked, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So really, I feel like we look at British cookies. And we're like, that's a cookie. And they're like, no, it's biscuit.
It's a biscuit.
Like, no, it's a cookie.
It's a biscuit.
They're like, no, it's biscuit. And to be fair, they're right, because that was the earliest. I didn't realize that they went back that far.
Yeah.
And then like the biscuits that we know and love, much like many things, came from the Victorian era. Like the wackadoo things of the Victorians, which were just so wonderfully crazy. But that's technically called the boom time for biscuit.
The boom time.
I know. Isn't that great?
Biscuit boom time.
Who knew that biscuits
Biscuit-
had a boom time?
Biscuit boom time. Was it in the 20s?
And it was in the 19th century. Biscuits were
No.
everywhere.
Oh my God, delightful.
Yeah, according to the English Heritage website, boom time for biscuits began. And that's when they started to play with them. And they would add ice cream or fruit or nuts. And that's when they would like incorporate them into other like desserty things and make them sweet. And that's when the petit four became a thing. And petit four literally just
Oh.
means small oven. But that's when biscuits were cooked. That's when they made the biscuit that we know and love, basically, where they were cooked at a higher temperature and cut into intricate, cool little shapes.
Love it.
Yeah. And if you go to the English Heritage website and just like read about the history of biscuits, it is very fun.
I'm
And,
going to
like,
add some
what-
more.
What?
I'm going to add some more.
I'm sure you, and I had a feeling you were going to go this route as well, and sort of like how shipping changed them a little bit, and how like what changed when sugar became more readily available.
Sure.
Because obviously like sugar at a time was a luxury, and then that all changed, and I feel like the biscuit helped change that to make sugar a little bit more accessible. And if you're going to go into that, then I can do a fun, quick little tangent
Go for it.
about
Oh, you have 30 seconds.
bread
so
in
distracted.
Italy, and why one town in Italy has the most boring bread ever, because they were fighting with Florence has horrible bread. Because back in the day, they fought with Pisa because Pisa had all the salt. And then Pisa wouldn't give their salt to Florence. And then Florence had to make unsalted bread, which they do to this day because they hold grudges.
Wow.
That's very Italian.
Yeah.
Very Italian. So they just have unsalted bread?
Yeah, and it's horrible. If you go to Florence, that's why you need oil and all that other stuff, because the bread has literally no flavor.
Oh, no kidding.
Wow.
Because they, to this day, am still angry with Pisa for hoarding all the salt.
Wow.
I would have gotten over that for some
And
good bread.
I didn't think
personally.
I was going to get there with biscuit talk.
And
but,
yes, you did. Right in time.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Right in time. Well,
So sorry, that was really an all over the map stream of consciousness as to just what biscuits make me think of. Because the core thing, Ryan, is now they just make me think of you.
Oh,
aw.
very flattered.
And I could just sing the praises of your biscuits and gravy all day long. But I needed to throw in some factoids there because
And the boom time of biscuits.
the boom time of biscuits is now, and it is in your kitchen.
So I look forward to making it for you again.
Thank you.
How lovely.
Yes.
Okay, Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your 10 minutes starts now.
So I immediately went into the whole British thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Okay.
it was very easy, right? And I have some other kind of like fun factoids around it, kind of building off of like what you were sharing. I had the twice baked thing. It was medieval Muslims that actually made the first sweet biscuits, and they used figs, so they were really like the first fig Newton.
Oh, fig, not a cookie. It's a Newton.
It's a Newton.
Remember those
It's
commercials?
fruit and cake.
Oh, you're again too young. There were these amazing
Oh.
commercials for fig Newtons. So
Oh,
like, can
my
I have a
God.
cookie? It's not a cookie. It's a Newton.
It's a
And they
Newton.
always said it like that.
But you had a
Delightful.
fig Newton, right?
Oh, yeah, they're the
Okay,
best.
okay.
Oh,
Love
yeah, they're
fig Newtons.
delicious.
Actually,
Okay,
I
so
saw-
they were crunchy fig Newtons.
I said really like the strawberry fig Newtons. Do you guys remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they're
were,
so good.
they were
Oh.
delicious.
Figs are delicious too.
That's
Oh.
true. I love a fig.
Biscuit National Biscuit Day is May 29th.
Ooh.
Yep.
Very exciting.
FYI. The British actually, and this is like the most British written thing ever.
More than boom time for biscuit?
They created biscuits for breath freshening, and
What?
they were extremely good at suppressing vapors from rising.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, so I guess not belching or burping.
Oh.
So they were like
suppressing
early
vapors.
Tums.
Yeah, so keeping vapors from rising, and they were done with anise. So yeah, that
Oh.
would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
about right?
Yeah.
And then I ended up in this like weird little rabbit hole about Guy Fawkes.
I love Guy Fawkes Day. I think it's really interesting.
Is it
Guy
Fawkes? Am I
Fawkes?
saying it right? Or
Yeah, Guy Fawkes Day.
Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah.
What is
So
this?
Guy Fawkes is the gentleman who in 16 something or other intended on blowing up British Parliament.
Oh. Oh.
And he is also the face that's the basis for the V for Vendetta face.
He was
And-
Scottish, right?
And Anonymous. Yeah.
Wasn't he like a Scottish revolutionary?
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And gingerbread
Wow.
cookies and gingerbread men are based upon him.
They come from Guy Fawkes?
They're supposed to be Guy Fawkes, and It was so Protestants could show their support by eating the Papist villain.
Oh, wow.
Well, because every year on Guy Fawkes Day, which is a big holiday in the UK, they burn effigies of him.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was publicly executed, and it was
Yes.
like became a national holiday.
And they were like,
Yes.
yay.
And that's
Yeah.
why and gingerbread cookies or gingerbread men are passed out.
Oh my
He must
God.
have had red hair,
He must have.
because I love ginger men.
I love gingerbread men.
personally.
Ginger men.
But that was ginger men.
Just
Ginger men
redheads
and
in
gingerbread
general.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Oh, I
There's a little
love
weakness
gingerbread.
Oh, but gingerbread in general too. It's
Oh,
great.
delicious.
Yeah.
Wow, I
It's
didn't
very-
know that was because of him.
But that was kind of a fun. I was like, wow, that is a fun fact, and I didn't know that was the connection. So
It is such a burn to like make cookies of your enemies and eat them.
And literally a burn because they burn.
Watch me
him.
eat your head.
Did they light him on fire?
I don't
Did
know.
they
but
burn him at
burn
the stake?
effigies,
Yeah.
so.
Maybe they burned him at the stake.
Yeah, I didn't go
Sounds
deep
like
enough
something
into
they would do
into Guy.
back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And then
Yeah.
oh, the other kind of fun thing, I didn't know this. I don't know if anyone's had this experience, but it's also tradition. Let's call it generic British tradition. So across the entire United Kingdom, to apparently leave biscuits next to a dead body or on a dead body, and you
What?
eat the biscuits as a way of consuming the person who's died's sins.
Oh.
Have you heard this?
No,
To consume
but
their
that sounds
sins?
right.
Yeah, so that they go onto their afterlife with
Well,
less
they're like the
sin.
sin
What a
eaters.
selfless move.
Yeah.
What if nobody eats your biscuits?
Well, I was going to say I'd need
No.
a full room of fucking cookies.
Yeah.
Go to town, people.
Yeah. You're like, you need a bakery for me. But a sin eater is a thing. Like there's like it's like a trope, I guess, like a village sin eater. Like that there were people in villages that ate the sins for the whole village. So like eating sins is a Christian thing.
Yep.
From what I understand.
So it was like that was also part of tradition.
Huh. You don't
but-
want to eat stuff around dead body. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's usually like a bad call. I hope it was like on a
Right.
plate or like.
Yeah, I'm like, I just think that's a bad tradition to be like, let's consume things around dead bodies. Like, that's not a good
If it was
idea.
me, I would put it in my writing that they'd be held in my hands.
Ooh.
Yeah, in the casket.
Ooh. It's like, can you assure me that there's only sins on this biscuit?
a little sign at my face that says "Eat my biscuit."
Eat my biscuit.
Oh no.
Oh my God, gross.
I love this. I'm gonna do this anyway.
Have my delicious sin biscuit.
But it's going to be in the mushroom suit. So the
Yeah, yeah,
mushrooms
yeah.
will eat my
That's
biscuit.
right.
The mushrooms will eat my sins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
the
you
mushrooms
go.
will eat your sins.
They'll eat my
there
sins.
you go.
Yeah.
And your biscuits.
So kind of reading about led me then, okay, how do we get to the US biscuit or the American biscuit?
Okay,
I was
sure.
so hoping you were going to talk about this.
Yeah, it's actually it's really interesting, and like many things in America built on
Slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's
Wild
what I
guess.
thought.
So the original biscuit that came across was very like British, very like it was like a cracker,
Yeah.
done to preserve something for an extended period of time.
Sure.
But it was discovered that if you beat the shit out of the dough, you would ultimately put air into it.
Okay.
And it took over an hour of beating the shit out of the dough to get it. So guess who was tasked with doing that?
Yeah.
Right. So that's also why biscuits have a bit of heritage into Black culture
Yeah, sure.
into the United States. Right. The other kind of connecting point in this kind of same vein were Pullman porters. So Pullman trains were the fancy trains that people rode on to go from point A to point B. And the porters were the gentlemen, and traditionally Black gentlemen, who not only cared for the passengers, but cooked the meals for the passengers.
Oh, wow.
A gentleman named Carl Smith, who was a salesman for like a milling company, like flour and whatever else, was on a train, and his porter, he had gotten on the train late or something and asked the porter to make some food for him. Guy runs to the back, makes an American-style biscuit, so like one that rises, brings it out. He thinks it's amazing, and he's like, how did you do this so quickly? And the porter says, well, actually, I pre-mixed all of the dry ingredients together and keep them in the freezer, and then just I add the milk, and then it goes real quick. So this guy, being in the industry, realizes that there's an opportunity. So now, like, this is where you get pre-made biscuit mix and Bisquick
cool.
and Jiffy and all of these things where you just buy the ingredients in a bag, add the liquid, and then you get,
Cool.
All because of this one Pullman porter.
Pullman porter
Very
who had the
cool.
idea first. Yep.
Wow.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Super cool.
And apparently the whole like generation of biscuits in the South was interlinked to the fact that there was a high abundance of everything. So it was high abundance of wheat, high abundance of cows for milk, pork, lard for leavening, and the availability of sugar, which kind of led to the whole like moving away from yeast and instead using, and baking powder became readily available. That was the other big move for making a good biscuit, was having baking powder.
Cool.
So like I got through all that and I'm like, yeah, so I definitely got into like my love of biscuits and like where it come from and the interlinking back, right? And how much time do I have? Just
you have 2 minutes on the dot.
Perfect. So have either of you ever been to a Hardee's?
No.
Are you familiar with Hardee's?
Is it like a truck stop kind of?
No. It's fast food. It's like a McDonald's.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it's in the same vein as like a McDonald's or a Burger King or a Wendy's.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
And a smaller chain, and definitely Southern chain. So I grew up in kind of Southwest, I was born in Southwest Virginia, but grew up in Northern Virginia. And we would obviously travel down to see family and whatever else. And there was a Hardee's at the Woodstock exit on 81 that we used to frequent and stop at. Now, this actually, I ended up learning about this post-fact. I didn't know there was a relationship to my love of biscuits and Hardee's and whatever else until I discovered this. But Hardee's in the 70s was actually struggling, the chain. And a franchise owner whose name was, his first name was Mayo, and I wrote that down because I love mayo too.
I love mayonnaise. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not with my gravy or my biscuits, but like just
independently. Give me a good mayo salad of any sort.
Yes.
And, so he was at an eatery and had a biscuit for breakfast, and he's like, this is a really good idea, and decided to give it a try at his franchise in Virginia Beach. So Hardee's started in, I think, 77 selling breakfast biscuits. And as of 2018, and I don't know what it is post-COVID now, 50% of Hardee's revenue was driven by biscuit-related meals.
Biscuit business.
So Hardee's
taking care of biscuits.
Taking care of biscuits
every day. Taking care of biscuits. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I was quickly trying to work. I was like, how do we get gravy in this?
Yeah. With gravy.
With gravy.
Ignore me.
Just yell it.
Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry.
I apologize, then.
So then
no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
It's fine.
I almost made Cheddar Bay biscuits to bring to us today.
And you didn't.
I didn't. Well, and what I was going to do was go through some of my favorite ones, but one of my favorite things to do back in the day was to go to Red Lobster and get Manhattans and Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, Red Lobster biscuits
Delicious.
are famous, right?
And then KFC's biscuits are really good.
That's supposed to be really good.
Cracker Barrel sausage. I mean, I hate Cracker Barrel's politics. They should just shut the fuck up. But but their biscuits and gravy are.
I think all these companies should just shut the fuck up. It's like
just serve your fucking food.
Yeah.
Give me my biscuits and gravy.
Businesses
don't make me think
people.
about the fact that you're awful.
Yeah, they're not sentient. Like, they shouldn't have.
Focus on your knick-knack shop.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And then who doesn't love a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's?
I don't think I've had it from McDonald's.
I don't think I've had it from any of those places, to be honest, but I like biscuits.
Oh my God. I've explored every industrial bad for you biscuit that there is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I love them all.
There isn't a favorite? There isn't a standout?
I mean, Cheddar Bay biscuits with Manhattans might actually
take the cake.
Yeah,
Red Lobster's got it.
Red Lobster's got that down. Yep.
They didn't take the cake, but they took the biscuit.
I learned so much about the history of biscuits.
Not so much from me. You just learned about my own personal history with biscuits.
But I also learned about the boom time for biscuits. Boom time?
Thank God for the Victorians.
I'm going to be thinking about that for a long time.
Boom time for biscuits.
Boom time for biscuits.
It's boom time.
Okay.
The roaring biscuit days.
Yes. Glory days for biscuits. Okay. Ryan takes this one.
Yay. Oh, congrats.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious.
I think there's no other that had to be.
Yeah,
I agree.
I learned so much about biscuits.
Oh, well, thank you.
And you make me think of biscuits. So.
Yeah.
It's only right.
I'm doing something right in life.
Okay.
My mom's proud.
Yes, they are really good. I like baking. Okay, I have to think about something. Okay, our next word is going to be Velcro.
Oh,
Velcro.
Velcro.
speaking of
My whole 10
ASMR.
minutes is just going to be me pulling
Yeah.
apart Velcro. Because I love that sound.
Some people will like it. That's what
Some-
ASMR is.
Some people will get mildly aroused from that, yes.
Right. See, again, I think ASMR is just an arousal thing.
Yeah.
I think people are like, I like the noises make me feel warm. I'm like, what does that sound
It
like?
reminds me of my favorite shoes.
Velcro?
Skechers. Skechers, the Velcro Skechers.
Yes. The big white ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, I miss shoes with Velcro. Whatever. I want them back.
Well,
Oh,
Get
I don't.
these
I hate
lazy
tying my
guys.
shoes
No,
every
I just-
day.
I
Oh, it was so great.
That's why we're Birkenstein.
Grab and go.
Grab and
Berkeys.
go.
I love
Oh my
Berkeys.
god. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm excited to learn more about Velcro
Velcro.
Yeah.
from you, gentlemen.
I'm excited. And that's it.
That's it. Bye.
Bye. Love you all.